Hello, everybody. This is Richard RJ Eskow with your random news. Those slices of news stories you may not have noticed or may not have given much thought to, probably in order to preserve your own sanity. But we're here to fix that. Our first story, there was news early last week that the Mall of America in Minnesota might be a target for the terrorist group Al-Shabaab. Now, we have to put this story in context. Now, there was no conspiracy on the part of the Al-Shabaab group to attack the Mall of America. Instead, rather, they put something on social media suggesting that that ought to be a target for sympathetic groups. Now, of course, that's frightening. Of course, we have to do everything we can to protect ourselves from these possibilities of attack, as long as that remains consistent with our values and our freedoms. So, okay, no problem there so far. Here's where it gets crazy. It gets crazy when the story gets reported on Fox, specifically the program Fox and Friends. The hosts of Fox and Friends suggested last Tuesday that the Mall of America should, quote unquote, arm the shoppers and should not only drop its gun ban, it has a ban on people carrying guns. It's, I guess, is the largest mall in the country. Not only do they have a ban on people open carrying or carrying in that mall, they should, this is what one of their guests, Representative Tony Cornish, Republican of Minnesota, said, quote, "This is completely ridiculous, the complete opposite of what they should be doing." This is what he told a local radio station. "If we're threatened with an attack, the last thing you want to do is disarm citizens." Well, of course, Elizabeth Hasselbeck was all about that and all over it. She warned that there was danger at the Mall of America and that people were preparing for the worst. What do you think about that? The co-host asked Laura Ingraham. Arm the shoppers? Question mark. Yes, of course. Everybody wants to arm the shoppers because when the bullets start flying, I want the kid behind the counter at a yogurt place. I want the people shopping at the dollar store, and I want everybody in the food court to be packing and to start letting the bullets fly. That makes a lot of sense to me. Now, also in the news and crazy this week, Alabama's Roy Moore. Now, Roy Moore is the Chief Justice of the state of Alabama, and he conducted an interview with the Associated Press this week. You got to hear this. I hope I can do it justice. Not only did he say that same-sex marriage means that, quote, you're taking any definition of a family away, but he also said, and this is the Chief Justice of the state of Alabama, this, and I quote, "When two bisexuals or two transgendered marry, how large is that family?" Think about that again. When two people marry, how many people are married if they are transgendered? Can they marry two persons, one of the same sex and one of the opposite sex? Then you've got a family of four, or, says the Chief Justice of the state of Alabama, how many? So apparently, Chief Justice Roy Moore of the state of Alabama does not know how many people are in a marriage when two bisexual people marry, or whether in fact that would be four people, or whether they could marry four people. It's a fascinating story. He says that in fact, number theory does not apply. Irrational numbers, as we call them, are not valid in the state of Alabama when it comes to same-sex marriage. It's fascinating. I don't know if he thinks that when a person marries another same-sex person or transgendered or bisexual, perhaps he's a believer in multiverse theory, and the universe splits in two, and there's one universe where they married, one when they didn't, or maybe he thinks there's one where they married a man, one where they married a woman. In any case, the idea that a couple means two, or that same-sex marriage means two people, is alien to the guy who decides what is law and not law. Alabama and its legislation. That's a little frightening. And our final story for the week that you might have overlooked, Uber drivers. Uber, we talk about the app Uber a lot on this show. Now we learn from Consumerist, very good website, consumerist.com, that, well, of course, we know that they're rating you even as you rate them, which I would argue makes the whole rating system meaningless because everybody's just trying to please everybody. So now we're finding out that some people actually don't get picked up by Uber or wait a really long time because they've been given a low score by other drivers, and people don't know this. They don't know why they've been given a low score. Quote, one Bay Area woman tells CBS she found out she'd been blacklisted, having trouble getting Uber to pick her up. Quote, I asked the driver what was going on, and he basically told me I had a really low Uber rating, under 3 out of 5. Well, that I would think would be average, not low, but it's low. I really feel judged for being blacklisted because I'm not really friendly. Is that what it's come to in the world? Social media means we always have to be friendly, not just polite, but super friendly. That is my personal vision of hell. I'm Richard RJ Eskow for the 0 Hour.